Hi, my name is Kavita Sharma. I'm today gonna talk about PMP exam, the most asked questions. I'll talk about PMP exam, what kind of questions gonna come, how do you prepare for it, what is the eligibility criteria, because a lot of people get interested and they don't know if they are eligible, and how do you get started, different resources. So let's get started. The PMP exam is how are the PMP exam questions are like. So if you go to lms.kavitasharma.net, this is what you're gonna see. How do you optimize people performance? If I navigate to another one, which artifacts are unique to agile projects? Then there are different questions like the team is using an EVM, so which variable will help project team to progress, to plot the progress and work completed. So there are few terms like that, and so on. So if you see, the questions are objective type, and it has either a simple select, a radio button, or it would have multiple selects like check boxes. There are other type of questions which would come like mix and match, fill in the blank, maybe one question, and so on. If you want to know, or if you want to practice this baseline assessment test as to whether you are ready for PMP or what is the knowledge you have, you can come to a place called lms at kavitasharma.net. Click on the course called Bridge to PMP. You can register yourself. This is the course. This is a course which is self-enrolled. You don't have to pay anything. You can just click on this course, understand how the course flows like. It has baseline assessment test, some things so that I can know you, and then it has things like fundamentals. These are put in a way so that you can understand the concept. It would also tell you how I teach, and how the overall program gonna flow. So you can click on the study capsules. These are videos, and then there are let's play based on the video which you have just seen. The let's play are easier let's play, so that you can understand the concept and practice it there and then you would have few module and questions which are PMP style of questions. So that's the course. You can directly get the access to this course by going to lms.kavitasharma.net. Once you go there, you need to create your login or your credential. If you click on login here, it's going to ask you whether you have a password or not. Create your new account. You can create the account and then confirm your email ID, and then you can log in here. So this is very, very simple. Just do it so that you can access the courses. Free course, you can go ahead and do it. So you have seen how the PMP exam questions are structured. There would be some difference, like there would be case studies, and then you have to answer the question and so on. So big question, expect bigger questions and a similar type of answers. But where the PMI gonna get these questions from? So you should get questions from somewhere. PMI issues a direction called PMP Exam Content Outline. This is a document. If you want to see, you can see right away. You go to pmi.org, go to PMP and download this. You can also search PMP Eco and you should be able to download this file. Let me show the file to you. This is how the file looks like. This is the eco. It was released in January 2021 and not changed so far. So your syllabus remains the same. Okay, if in case you have questions like, I see previous videos which are recorded in 2021, are they still valid or not? Don't worry, the exam content outline has not changed, and that is why you would see sometimes there are videos from 2021. That's okay. So what are the exam updates? What do you see here? This talks about that questions which gonna come to you in the PMP exam. Questions gonna be divided like this. How many questions gonna come? 180 questions. In how much time? 230 minutes, approximately 4 hours. So questions gonna be on people domain, 42% of the question. Then questions gonna be on process domain, business environment, and total 100% here. So what do you mean by people? What kind of questions you're gonna ask? So PMI Eco answers you like, if you talk about people, as a manager, you should be able to know how do you manage conflict. Okay, you should know how to lead a team. So questions gonna surround this reward system, for example. How do you ensure you work with stakeholders? How do you know who are stakeholders? How do you give task accountability, RACI metrics, and so on? How would you build a team? How do you work with or collaborate with stakeholder, work with agreements? How do you work with virtual teams? You should know what is ground rule, help you, do they help, do they not? And mentoring is another part. AI is being kicked off from 2021. You expect one or two questions on emotional intelligence, not AI, sorry, emotional intelligence. And then it talks about processes. Processes is somewhere around 50%. You can see that here. So, how would you manage communication? How would you manage risk? How do you manage resources, schedule, scope, schedule activities, changes, procurement, artifact, governance structure, and so on. How do you close your project? And this applies to both agile, iterative, incremental, all type of projects. So you should know those type of projects as well. And the last one is the business environment, which is 8%. Here you need to think like your bosses, program managers, portfolio managers. You're going to see those terms in the free module. So in case you want to know what is program, what is portfolio, go through those study capsules or those videos in the bridge to PMP at lms.kavitasharma.net free module. So here, business environment, you need to think like portfolio manager and answer. So this is the eco. It talks about how would you, what is the eligibility and so on. So I don't want to clutter it. Let's move forward with the presentation. So PMP exam is based on eco. Now people are gonna ask, what should I read then? This is the eco I would be assessed on, but what are reading material? So there are a lot of reading material available. You can buy a study guide, PMP study guide, or people can look at PMBOK. PMBOK 7 is one of the resource which PMI says, but PMI also says you need to go ahead and read Agile Guide and many other books. To simplify that, PMI has started giving something called PMI Student Kit to all the ATPs. You don't have to read anything, you just have to refer to this particular presentation and study material, and you should be good to go. You should be able to handle, if you understand the concept, you should be able to handle the questions, give the right answers. So this is one go-to in case you are going with an ATP, in case you are thinking about Udemy or some other courses. Ensure that you cover all your aspects like read PMBOK or Agile Guide and one of the study guide. As I told you, the PMP questions are based on domain. You have people domain. 42% of the questions gonna come from there. How many total questions? 180 questions. Process domain, 50% of the question. Business environment, 8%. So if the total questions are 180, how many you gonna see from process domain? 90 questions. Okay. More about the PMP exam. The PMP exam is of 230 minutes. It's an online exam. What does it mean? That means online on demand exam. It means whenever you are ready, you can schedule your exam, go to pmi.org, and once you have paid your application fee, etc., you can schedule your exam at any point of time. You can schedule it for home or schedule it to a center. So it is online on demand exam. It is the total duration is 230 minutes. Your knowledge is tested for 3 domains. You're gonna see 180 questions, and the question is gonna be mix of questions. Remember those 3 domains? You're gonna sit. You're gonna get few questions from each domain based on the percentage. Which question you're gonna see? First, make be from any place. These are randomly generated questions, which means if your friend gonna go there as well along with you, he or she gonna see few different questions from the same, pool of questions. So if you ask your friend, question number, what is the answer to it, she or she would have a different question. So randomly generated question. The questions, the a lot of people ask this question, what is the passing percentage for PMP exam? And you get random answers like 65% or 75%, nothing like that. It's a rating based system. I'll talk about that in a while. Let me close this first. There is no negative marking, okay? So answer all the questions which you have the answer to. If you don't know, use deductions and analyze those questions and give answer, okay? Do not leave any answer blank. This is the rating you're gonna see in your PMP examination report. So what you see is need improvement, below target, on target, and above target. And the combination you would be assessed on. So let me show you this. This is the same page. This is the bottom half. You would get detailed rating, which would talk about how was your performance by each domain. So people, do you know this? Process, do you know this? Or business environment, do you know? So it's the total percentage or total outcome, whether you have passed or failed, would be based on the total here. So here, okay. So it would be based on this. Pass is here. So let me give you a scenario. If a person gets business environment above target, in process a person get below target, and in people a person get target, do you think this person gonna pass or fail? Remember the percentages: 8%, 50%, and here 42%. So if you get above target only in 8%, and rest here, which is majority, you get below target, this is on target, not gonna make any difference. This person gonna fail in the exam, okay? So you need to prepare accordingly. So let me go back. So you need to ensure that you get above target in everything. Even if you get on target in everything, you're gonna pass. This is the passing bar. On target meaning you know enough. Above target, you know more than others. Below target, you don't know sufficient. Needs improvement meaning you really don't know anything. You need to go back to the drawing board and start preparing again. So this is the rating which you get. How do you start being a PMP? You need to attend a workshop. You should know, before attending a workshop, you should know what is the eligibility criteria. So eligibility is, a lot of people ask me this question, what is the eligibility criteria? You need to have 3 years of management experience. There is a detailed video which I have made on the eligibility criteria. You can see that. So you can go to the website kavitasharma.net downloads, and you can download this PMP application template. Here it talks about how do you file your PMP application, and then there are pre-filled application template, and there's an Excel. If you click on this download, you should be able to see how do you file the PMP application. It's an Excel, and you should be able to register, assess your eligibility criteria for PMP exam. So you can do that as part of checking your eligibility. Then you attend a workshop. Once you are eligible, go ahead and find a workshop which works for you. It can be any ATP oriented workshop. It can be PMI's self-service, self-study course, or you can attend any other mentorship or any other session. Once you have 35 PDU and you are very confident on your subject, you know you are ready for the PMP exam, you become a PMI member, submit your PMP application. The application gonna go through certain questions and answers from PMI, because PMI may ask you questions on whether this role which you have written, does it have actually clerical role or executive role, or project manager's role. So there would be few, up and down from PMI to you. Once the application is approved, PMI gonna ask you to pay. You pay your fee, and then your application is in the approved state. Okay, which means that you can give the exam. Let's say your application was approved on 3rd August 2025. You have 1 year to give your exam. So you can schedule exam till 2nd August 2026. Now here is most important part. Once you have your application approved, start doing a lot of tests, good test. Okay, PMI is approved test. Go to an ATP, get those tests, buy the test prep kit from kavitasharma.net, or it's part of the mentorship course already. Start doing that. Once you do that, you should be able to, if you start getting 75% and above in that test prep kit, you should be able to pass the exam whenever you schedule. Okay, then schedule your exam and pass the exam. Eligibility criteria, as I told you, you need to have 4-year degree and you should have 36 months of non-overlapping project experience. And then you should also have 35 PDUs. Any ATP gonna give you 35 PDUs. This is something which I told you, go to kavitasharma.net downloads and download the Excel to see whether you suffice this or not. And 4-year degree is something which you need to see. It can be graduation plus 1 year PG diploma as well. If you have more questions on your eligibility, you can write to me at help@kavitasharma.net, or you can go to website and then ping on WhatsApp, and I should be able to help you. Thank you for listening in and wish you all the best for your PMP exam.